God damn. Damn. One Piece chapter 833. Damn. Sanji's old man. Damn. That is a motherfucker right there. Yo, he put the collar that the celestial dragons put on their slaves on his son. He put it on Sanji's hands. Oh man, that's a bitch move, dude. I don't like this motherfucker. That is a bitch move. Like on a scale from 1 to 10, that's a fucking R-long, man. That is a bitch move. Oh my god. Like I get it. You got beef. You got issues with your kid. But damn, dude. Like he just sat up there and told you that his hands exist only to serve. And you put those collars on him. Damn. Sanji gotta do whatever the fuck they tell him to do now. Sanji has no means of escape, and Big Mom has the key. So they're essentially setting up Luffy versus Big Mom. So now Luffy is not only going to be fighting Big Mom for Fishman Island, he's also going to be fighting Big Mom for the sake of freeing Sanji. Oh shit. And this is so brilliant. This is so brilliant because when you look at the symbolism behind it, what you're essentially getting is Luffy went to Fishman Island where essentially you had slavery that existed there. Same thing with what happens on Sayabody, which is basically like a slave mart. And so Luffy went there and essentially freed everybody from Big Mom's grasp at that point. Now you have Sanji, who's essentially Big Mom's slave as well as a slave to his own father. And it's one of those things where I totally get where Sanji's father is coming from, because he looks at Sanji like a pawn. He says, I didn't like the idea of sending my valuable sons to that mad woman's lair. I didn't like that idea, but then I remembered that I had you as a son. And that's when, you know, Sanji just gets this look on his face when his father tells him, I never thought of you like a son anyway. I never viewed you as a son. In my opinion, you hadn't changed. And this is after they swapped hands. And this is just my interpretation of what we got on the fight. Again, you know, you guys might or probably will disagree with me. I mean, hell, I said that Luffy could solo the 3 admirals back in Marineford. I mean, obviously I'm prone to getting some stuff wrong, but the way I was reading it, I thought Sanji stood a chance to actually beat his father with that attack he was preparing. Like, even though his father is using the technology that Big Mom's people have and all that, and even though Sanji, it looked like he was getting pressured, I really thought he was about to turn the tables there. I really thought he was about to turn the tables. And what I like about it is how even his sister looks at Sanji when they're fighting, and she's like, I can't believe this is the same person. And I like how Oda mixed in those flashbacks where you see Sanji getting beaten up by his older brothers and how everyone deemed him to be a failure. I like that a lot. I really like that a lot. And what I also liked about it is the fact that, you know, when Sanji is talking to his father and his father's telling him to pick up the sword, I showed you how to use one. Sanji goes back to what he said before, which is, my hands exist only to serve. You know, in the last chapter, Sanji talks about the fact that being father doesn't necessarily mean that we have to share blood. You know, are you sure that you can claim to be my father? And that's something he kind of doubles down with on this. And what I really like about it is the fact that when Sanji's fighting, Sanji is just surprising everyone. When he breaks out Haki, it looks like he used a form of armament Haki since he was able to essentially block that powerful attack. I like seeing that. I like how Sanji doubled down on the fact that he said, I'm a leg specialist. My legs are how I'm able to fight. You know, everyone wanted to see what Sanji could do, and I think in this moment Sanji did establish himself. He did establish himself. Like when you look at what he did to his older brother, I believe Yanji is the older brother. If he's younger or older, whichever one it is, Sanji fucked this dude up. And I like how in the beginning of the chapter he's like, that failure is gonna pay for what he did to me. I'm like, says the guy who got his ass kicked. Like, if you don't fall the fuck back on this shit. So I thought that was interesting that we came to that conclusion, that Oda decided to make things go to full circle in that part. And what I like is how after the fight actually ends, after a fight ends, and you have Sanji's father pulling once again some bitch made stuff where he sacrifices the lives of his men, and Sanji pulls his punch, or rather he pulls his kick, because Sanji doesn't use his hands. I'm so used to using the cliche pull the punches, but Sanji pulls his kick, and his father sacrifices one of his men in order to land the finishing blow on Sanji. And so what's interesting about that is in that moment with that action, you see a clear difference between Sanji and his father. Sanji is someone who, even though he's a pirate, he values human life, whereas his father sees people as tools. They're disposable. And like he's showing with his own son and Sanji, once they outlive their usefulness, he moves on. So that means any of these children that he has, once he no longer has uses for them, he's gonna wash his hands of them. Because at the end of the day, you know, as fucked up as this is gonna sound, a child can always be replaced. The child can die. You can just bust your nutter butter inside of some random woman and produce another child. It won't be the same one that you had before. But when you have the mentality that Sanji's father has, he just has to find a high quality woman, leave the nuts hanging out, bust a few nutter butters inside of her, and he might get lucky and get a batch of 4 children with 4 sons. I mean, this is interesting. This is interesting. I think that once again, we're seeing a clear difference in how Sanji would have been if he would have stayed under his father's rule, and if he never met Zeph, and if he never joined Luffy's crew. You know, we could be seeing a different version of Sanji, but I want to know from you guys, what are you guys' thoughts about the fact that Sanji has these bracelets on his hand? I think that that is some of the most cruel stuff that we've seen in the series so far. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.